Before we started recording the show today, and before Justin got rude,
oh my gosh, here we go.
The reason why we were delayed recording is because our friend brought up, well, really for me, it's a ridiculous point. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. His whole thing was, if you're not full on, you know, you're not boyfriend and girlfriend yet, you don't know what the relationship is yet, you're just kind of, you're dating-ish, right? And he brought up women wanting to be independent. Like, women are so like, I don't need a man, I can be independent, blah, 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 blah. Yet when it comes to dating, they expect men to pay for all of the dates. And I'm like, yeah. Like, you know, and he was like, well, I shouldn't have to go broke, and we haven't even defined what this relationship is, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying, you don't have to go broke. No one's saying you have to go to these fancy dinners. Like, you know, be creative. But you do have to court people.
There's definitely a level of courting. I was hearing his point, and the point, and I'll address that, but I'm going to address another point that he made, which was an interesting debate. There's no arbitrary number. Like, he asked me, he said, you know, Jay, when is the time where you say how many dates where we can just come and just kick it, and it's not an expectation to go out here and spend all this money. But I said is, regardless of the independence between men and women, and women wanting to be independent and being able to do things on their own, to me, and when it comes to dating, the man always off top on the first date, you should pay. That's just, you have to do it. I don't care if the woman offers to pay for the meal, or to me, it's just not right.
It's just how you court people.
It's just the way you go about it.
Women, yeah.
And then you go out and hang out, and yes, you're gonna have to go spend more money and do some things. But he was like, well, what if I don't like her? What if the date's not going well? Well, you go on one date, you spent X amount of dollars, and the date's over, and you guys never talk again. I think there is a misconception on believing that this first date has to be a super expensive thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be extravagant.
There can be, if your coins aren't right, there could be something like, hey, let's go and see a movie in the park, or let's go and find something creative, outdoors, explore. Maybe the first one is, no, that's probably not true. I was like, maybe the first date's a happy hour. No, I'm gonna maybe the first date's a happy hour, but I think it just depends on how. Yeah, it's tough
on how the happy hour set up. It could be fun.
Yeah, it's tough to play. I would have to see the vibe between the two.
Well, it depends on how you met. Like, if you met at work or something.
Correct.
A happy hour works.
So it is definitely a balance. I understand his concern in saying, well, if I'm going out here and just continually paying, now there's expectation is being set that I'm going to pay for everything forever, and I don't believe I don't believe that there's the case. And I do also feel that there are people who do take advantage, who are serial daters, who will just take advantage of something like, oh, I want to get a free meal.
Yeah, I agree with that. But that's why I don't think your first date needs to be extravagant. You don't need to be going to these expensive meals. It doesn't even have to be a meal. Like, that's my personal preference. Like, or not preference.
What would you like? In today's day, you and I are together, if someone took you on a first date, because you're not a big fan of just let's go grab a meal.
No.
So if someone came on a first date, what would impress you that wouldn't cost a lot of money? Because I know for a fact there are a lot of men.
Like, I think that's like an activity where, like, it's funny. Like, some people are good, some people suck. Like, you know, it doesn't take too long. You can maybe go get like a froyo after. It's simple. It's very simple, and it doesn't cost a lot. It's the price of renting a shoes and a game or two.
So what if you, for those who live in LA, like something like going to the Santa Monica Pier or the boardwalk, is that a
totally fine? Because
I do believe that there are a lot of men who are like, I just don't know what to do as a first date, because you've been taught to believe that let's go eat.
Well, and listen, the right kind of woman for you will appreciate it, because I do think that listen, you'll weed out, just like how, you know, when you're younger, your mom tells you, like, you know, if you sleep with men, they're like kind of over it right away, which is kind of the truth most of the time. But if you hold out, like, if you're like, hey, you know, let's get to know each other first. If that guy dips out because all he wanted is sex anyway, you know, you didn't want that guy. That wasn't the guy for you. And I feel like it's the same. I didn't really explain that the best way, but you're catching where I'm going. I think it's the same for dating. Like, if a woman down for it because you didn't take her out to a fancy meal, that's not the woman for you anyway. Weed those women out. Like, you know, like there does have to be some kind of strategy involved. Like, you know, like just, I feel like the answer is really simple. Like, don't go have a $100 meal on your first date.
Very true. And
don't do it.
That's where you solve it.
Yeah.
But two, I would, again, I think there is trying to find those creative ways, because for me, if I was to go out on a first date right now, I would probably default to, okay, let's just go to a meal. And then you order an appetizer and drinks and you're up to $100.
Listen, and that's the thing, is I think that's whack anyway. Like, because the thing is, if
It's
you...
whack for you.
Right, but like, it just, like, it's a little stuffy, right? Like, there's an expectation there, like, you have to be able, like, your conversation skills have to be on point immediately.
That is true.
You don't know each other.
That's
like, you
very
straight
true.
up don't know each other. So that's why I say, like, an activity like bowling or miniature golf, whatever, an arcade, like, just be like something fun and silly that allows you to let loose. I think those are great. It should be an activity. I think a first date should always be an activity. A hike.
A hike.
Short hike.
No, I'm not with the hike, because now I'm
but
sweating.
Listen, you could do a hike and breakfast. You can do that. And a breakfast is, one, a cheaper meal, and two, more exciting than dinner most of the time.
Not in Los Angeles. A breakfast is not a cheaper meal.
It can be. Don't go to the trendy spot. Just be like, oh, there's this spot that I really like. They have great coffee. Go to the diner. Come on, like, you know, be creative. Be creative. But this is the thing, is they're not gonna be like, oh, he's so cheap. Because the thing is, dinner is more of a presentation of what I can do for you, and a meal is. But if you do an activity first, that puts the guard down, allows them to get to know you as a person, instead of you for your wallet or like what you can provide. It's a different approach to courting, and I think smarter.
True, and it breaks down the awkwardness. Like, again, if your conversational skills are not very good, and here you guys are sitting at a dinner table, and it's like, okay, I don't really know what to talk about. What do you want to eat? Well, I'm going to trying to base your order as the man, because we do this. We will base our order based on what you order. Like, oh, okay, she's going with a $35 entree. Cool. Can I get a salad with some lemon on the side, please? No dessert. No, I'm cool. Bottle of wine? Nah, I'm fine. I'll just have some water.
So don't start off like that. That's my advice to everybody. If I were out there dating, I would much prefer the guy who took me on the first date. That's memorable. Like, don't take me to another dinner. Don't take me to a movie. Like, that's so whack. It's so whack.